my name is Ilona Gerbakher, and I teach AP US History here at Pine Crest, Fort Lauderdale. I've been teaching on the high school level for 2 years and on the college level for about 12 years. I really love being here. I feel a lot of Panther pride, and I feel very lucky to be a new member of the Pine Crest family. Born in the USSR in 1987, we came over to America. After the fall of the Soviet Union, we settled in LA because my dad's uncle was there and it was easier to integrate and find jobs and find houses. I went to graduate school on the East Coast, Boston and then New York, where I did my PhD between Columbia and Princeton. And I met my husband in New York. He's a New York native. And then when I got pregnant with my first child, we decided I didn't want to commute an hour each way to work standing 8 months pregnant on the subway. So we moved to sunny Florida, where my mother-in-law lives. What I love about teaching, honestly, is that I get to spend my time learning about really nerdy things that I'm obsessed with, like the history of the Protestant Reformation, and that sharing that knowledge with young, smart, interested people. I love my job because there's very few things you can do on earth that mean that you spend your days learning and then sharing that excitement with people who share your passion. Yeah, so what drew me to teaching world history is that I'm a passionate proponent of the idea that people all over the world can be understood and loved no matter where they are. I love bringing to American students the glories of the Ottoman Empire or the inventions of Song-era China. I find it wonderful to think with American students about all the ways that their daily life has been influenced by people from other places and other cultures, and how that mix of cultures is especially potent right here in the US. So as a new teacher at Pine Crest, at first I felt a little bit of trepidation. It's always hard going into an established institution as the new kid on the block. But I have been, I cannot even tell you, astonished, warmed, comforted by, again, the warmth, the excellence, and the commitment of my colleagues to bringing me into the Pine Crest fold. I'm so happy to be here. I truly feel like I'm part of a family. So there's this amazing hadith in the Islamic tradition, "Utlubu al-ilm walau fi sin." Travel to find knowledge, even if it is as far as China. And what I've done with my historical passion is I've traveled the last 10 years the entire world. I've lived 5 of the last 10 years in the Middle East. I've learned about 10 languages. I've written books. I've been a published author, a published journalist. My love for knowledge, particularly historical knowledge, has taken me to the best institutions of the world, places like Harvard, Columbia, and Princeton, and has made me a part of the community of scholars who love history and seek to pass it on to the present. So there's this great, I think, Mark Twain quote, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes." And I like to think of myself as a poet of humans in time. See what I did there? I rhymed. I love understanding the past so that, quote, we don't commit, the mistakes of the past, but of course we do all the time. But I love learning, what were people like and how are they different or similar to what we are today? I love thinking about the people of the past as deeply connected to the concerns and the issues of the present. So the most important skill I'm trying to teach my students is a skill called historical empathy. And what that means is understanding the people of the past as not so different from them, right? Particularly when we talk about someone like Martin Luther, right? Like a 15th century Catholic monk is going to feel really distant to my students until we talk about something like his anxiety, his lifelong bowel difficulties, his disappointment with the Catholic Church in Rome. The people of the past are people just like us, and it's by understanding and deeply feeling their humanity that we learn about what matters in the past and how it can affect the present. So my favorite things to do in my free time, I'm gonna really disappoint you. It's probably reading more about history or listening to podcasts about history or working on my book. I'm writing my second book right now about, guess what, history. The history of Islam in the Abbasid Empire in the 12th and 13th centuries. So yeah, reading, writing, talking to my husband about history. He helps me with economic history, and teaching my children.